Hello, everyone, and welcome to this latest episode of the Huddersfield Town podcast. Just giving you a little bit of reaction to Town's latest loan signing, which is Crystal Palace goalkeeper Owen Goodman. Goodman joins us for a season-long loan after impressing in his latest spell at Wimbledon, notching 25 clean sheets, giving him the Golden Glove and placing him in the League Two team of the season. Standing at 6'3" tall, is an imposing figure in goal. He's good at short and long range shot stopping, and he's not bad with the ball at his feet either. And that should give us the ability to quickly play out from the back, something I think we lacked distinctly last season. Lee Grant said that Owen was a key target for us this summer, and we're excited to have him join in good time for the season ahead. An incredibly exciting young talent. He rightly caught the attention of many with his form and performances last season, so we're glad that Crystal Palace have shown belief in us to oversee the next stage of his career and development. So he's been training with Crystal Palace first team and he's going to be joining up with us in Austria. My views on it, personally, I think it's a really good signing. We've got Jacob Chapman and Lee Nichols, but I think Lee Nichols, to me, hasn't shown the performances that I think he's capable of. Certainly for the last couple of seasons, I don't think his mind's really on it, although maybe I'm being a little bit unfair there. But I personally believe that it's time to move on from that. And I think Jacob Chapman, although he showed in patches some really good distribution, I think his shot stopping was much to be desired. So for this bloke to come in, I think it's a really, really good move for Town. I think we've done well to get him so early. I think there were quite a lot of clubs sniffing around him. It wouldn't surprise me for one or two Championship clubs looking at him as well, seeing his potential. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a good signing, and I'm quite pleased so far with the defensive element of how the team's shaping up. I think we've got a bit more dynamism in there. My only concern is the age. I think we brought in Feeney, 21, Joe Lowe, 24, Rowan, 22, Goodman, 21. It's very, very young. Even Brodie Spencer, if he stays, is very young. I know we've got Murray Wallace, who he's injured at the moment. I think maybe we could do with another centre-back, 27 plus, just to bring that bit of cover and experience in there. But having said that, I suppose to an extent, it doesn't matter what age you are, it's how you lead out there on the pitch. And we won't know that until the season starts. And I'd rather have a complete refresh of that defence, players that are hungry to succeed. And that's what Lee Grant commented on with Goodman. He said his vision aligned with ours in terms of what we wanted for the season, which was obviously promotion, playing decent football. And yeah, I think overall it's a good move for all concerned. Personally, I think now, as we're coming up towards the Austria phase of the pre-season, I think we still need a creative central midfielder. Looks like Galbraith's gone to Swansea. But that's the kind of benchmark of player that we should be looking at, really. Top end League One, bottom end Championship, but players with potential to progress if and when we do get promoted. I'd like to see a couple of wingers come in because we haven't any options there apart from Harness. Just allows us to change formation, and we're lacking pace at the moment. We're lacking pace in the side, and I think if we get some pace out wide, both flanks, players who are willing to run at people, create things, get good delivery into the box, that'd be really good. And I think everybody wants a big striker, but just somebody to be able to hold the ball up, bring people into play. Bit of a battering ram, but someone that can change a game, someone that can offer something different. All our strikers are too similar. I'm hoping we can offload Bojan maybe on loan or sell Reece Healy. I've no idea what's happening with him, whether he's going to be fit or not. If he's going to be injured most of the season, I would terminate his contract. So that's where we are. Overall, yeah, really pleased. It's another good signing. It's another signing that makes sense. All the signings seem to be aligned to Town's strategy, which I think last season we weren't. It was more higgledy-piggledy last season. I think this season there's a clear strategy in the players that we're trying to sign, players with potential, players that are hungry, players that fit the formation that Lee Grant wants to play, which I suspect will be 4-2-3-1 for the majority of the season. So, yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. And Gaz will give his now, but yeah, we'll be back on Sunday for the Sunday social. See you soon. Bye for now.
Well, good afternoon. Hope you're all well. Just thought I'd give you a few minutes and my few penneth worth on the latest signing. Town brought in Owen Goodman from Crystal Palace on a season-long loan. I think it's his 7th signing of the season, so major progress being made in terms of the reshaping of that squad that we all know we need. He's only young, 21. And, I think to compare him to Chapman, Jacob Chapman's now 24, so he's considerably younger than our current second choice / first choice keeper. And I didn't know a lot about him. I obviously I'd seen his name when he played in the playoff final for Wimbledon. But I spoke to a mate of mine, I've got a mate called Dean, who's a lifelong Dons fan. I thought I'd ask him what he thought, and he's gutted. I think the Dons fans were hoping to get him back for a second season since they got promoted, but not to be. We managed to snag him, which is good. He's proved quite a top, proved to be quite a top performer in his first full season of men's football. He saved penalties in the EFL Cup against Ipswich, helped them beat them in the League Cup. Kept a clean sheet at the playoff final. He played every game in the season last season for Wimbledon and won, I think, the League Two Golden Glove. So, that's a pretty good start to professional men's football for the lad. And according to Dean, he was just a really nice bloke as well. Great with the fans. Seemed to be really popular with the other players as well. So, a really good start. I think, he's not played for Palace yet. So I guess, as with a lot of these young kids who are in and around Premier League teams, will he ever make it? I guess time will tell. But he has been on the bench for him a few times. So I think that's a really good sign. He played 50 odd games last season for Wimbledon. So he's clearly robust. In terms of fitness, he's robust. And I think that we all know that that's been a challenge we've had. And that, again, seems to be a bit of a pattern with the new signings, that they're players who can play a lot of games in a season and not seem to be out with injury. So yeah, it all looks fairly popular in the front of it. He's a unit. He's 6'4", so he's a big lad. And I can only assume Lee Grant's brought him in to be first choice. I can't imagine that he's come and Crystal Palace have let him come if there wasn't a tacit agreement that he was going to play every week. Otherwise, what's the point? The lad might as well stay at Palace or go back to Wimbledon. I guess his signing brings other questions, and that, what does that mean for the other keepers? I think Lee Nichols, I do wonder if his time is up. I think clearly, like I said, Lee Grant clearly wanted Owen Goodman in, or OG, as he's shared with us, is his nickname on the Town YouTube video. I think Lee's time is possibly up. Whether they've found a home for Lee or they're trying to find a home for Lee, I guess we'll soon see. Lee's part of the old guard. Really, is one of the few that's still left around from the Carlos Corberán and before era, and he's never been the same for me really since that season when we got to the playoff final. He was unbelievable that season, and quite rightly fated as being capable of playing in the Premier League, but injuries have taken a toll, and the guy's in his mid-30s now. So, he's not the player that I think he was, and it'd be a saving of a big wage if he goes. And also, I think it'd be a real sign, because I've worried that the kind of depth of clean-out we need in the summer wasn't going to happen, that the club just wouldn't have the appetite for it. But I think if Lee Nichols goes, I think that sends a real signal that Kev's really starting to cut where we need to cut. And in terms of Jacob Chapman, I would imagine he'll be really disappointed. I would think he was thinking if Lee Nichols went, he had a real chance to become our first choice keeper. That's clearly not going to happen. But he needs to bounce back. The lad needs to show now that he's got what it takes to be able to play regularly at this level, and work with a guy who's 3-4 years his junior. and make sure that he's ready to go. So I think it's a good signing. The lad's got all the hallmarks of being a success for the club. So good luck to him. Fingers crossed it starts well. I guess those of you that are going to Austria will see him. But yeah, a good signing all in all. So on that note, I'll leave you all to it. Have a great weekend. See you soon.